do dairy, he could do
Yeah,
oat milk.
the substitutes, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, but it's, you know, I mean, my recipes are a pound of butter, yeah, we'll start with that.
Yeah,
you know?
right, yeah.
Sounds a reasonable starting place.
Yeah.
Butter.
458.
1 minute.
Kate's, Mara said, all set on the pie.
Oh, yes, thank you. It's good to have an in. I'm connected.
Yeah, hey.
Let's see, what am I doing? Oh, I guess I should turn this meeting
How long
on.
is she taking orders for Thanksgiving?
I don't know if she shut it down. She's got pre-orders. She probably should shut it down. I'll ask her that right now.
Just cause I didn't think about that, and I should get Madeline like one little treat or like a loaf of bread that she can have or something since she's gonna be here for 4 days.
Oh, is Emery zooming in? Is that why you're doing it?
She's
Sorry?
gonna
Is
try to have
Emery
a big
zooming
card
in?
stuff too.
I
She's
don't know.
You're having a non-public if you're starting.
I know, but don't we
got
start the
plans to
meeting,
have a bunch
you
of
know, I'll
stuff
turn it
ready to
off.
go on the big cart. I'm also
Okay.
bringing
I don't know what he's gonna do.
Saturday,
My brain
Sunday.
picks up
Yeah.
patterns that are different.
Cause
was a
so I was
different
thinking about Oregon, I totally spaced it, I forgot to ask her.
Oh, I heard the bell.
Oh,
Yeah.
My phone says 4:59.
yeah, that bell's about a minute early.
Yeah.
This clock is right on
It's now
time.
5 minutes.
Is
We
it?
have one, yep, we're like seconds
5.
away.
Okay.
Hold your horses.
Oh,
We got 8
that's
seconds.
the world clock right
The
there.
world clock. There you go.
Atomic clock at
Yeah.
5 o'clock. I'm calling the select board meeting to order on November 21st, 2024. And make a motion to go into non-public session under RSA 91A:32C.
And I'm gonna get Kim. This will be a very short non-public.
Roll call vote. Barry, yes?
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, yes.
We're now in non-public at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one in the
Still 5.
One at the end and
One
one
at
at,
the
yep.
5:05.
I make a motion to come out of non-public at 5:05 p.m.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Did you say yes?
Barry, yes?
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, yes.
We are now in public session and the minutes are not sealed.
Okay.
I want to confirm budget hearing, February 5th, what time? I did not have it on my calendar.
6 last
I
time?
just looked at it.
Let me just email it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
I have it at
I
5,
have
but
it at
I'm,
5 as well.
5 on the 5th, right?
yep.
On the
Yeah, 'cause
26th.
the things are due on the
On the
4th.
Okay.
So that's a
That's
Wednesday.
good
I
here.
just
We're
counted on
budget
somebody
here.
telling guys.
And then you would have already scheduled,
Yep.
Emily,
Mm-hmm.
you would have already scheduled the second hearing,
That's the
and
second.
no, but hopefully won't need it. We
We're
did
on
need it last
February
year.
5th for the
Right.
budget hearing.
So would that be the 6th or the next week?
I think, no, it has to be right away. It's like, it'd probably be, last year we did it on a Friday night. So fun.
Yeah.
And we, yeah.
All right. Back to business. Changes and additions to the agenda. We are removing an agenda item, a discussion on the Four Corners traffic situation. So, in new business, transfer station food drive.
Do you wanna describe what you're doing?
We're just gonna use the transfer station as a drop-off and pickup point for the schools. So they're gonna take care of all the signs and the bins and provide us with flyers with a list of like the most requested items. And we hand the flyers out and then just collect.
Cool.
And then Donna and I will coordinate who picks up.
Awesome. That's great.
So we thought that you should probably have a motion to use the transfer station in that way, to collect.
I suppose so.
That just seemed official.
Make a motion to allow the transfer station to become a drop-off point for the Kenneth A. Brett food drive.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Did you say yes?
There, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, yes.
All right.
Good thinking.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
See you, Brian. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
He totally initiated that and approached the school.
Wow,
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Really awesome.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. Select board meeting schedule discussion with Emily Nolan.
Yeah, I guess I should say as of Monday, my name is officially back to Nolan, so
Oh.
for anybody out there
Nolan is Nolan.
not knowing who this is, it's me. Right, so last week we touched on possibly going into the new year with switching the schedule around a bit and just kind of what makes sense with the workflow. And also so that, residents can attend school board meetings, which are also scheduled on Thursday nights, so we understand, Mondays don't sound like they're an option, but Tuesdays look like this room is mostly free. So if you guys are open to it, it's just up for discussion.
Tuesday works for me, Monday's bad, Wednesday's bad,
I'm open to it.
Tuesdays and Thursdays would be the best.
Tuesday is okay with me.
And I looked at the calendar for over several months and there wasn't a lot going on, public meeting wise on Tuesday.
That way, people could attend the school board meeting as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, which I plan on
including
doing.
a select board member,
Yeah.
if he so chose.
Yeah.
I'll nominate Emery since he's not here.
And with that kind of comes, do you folks wanna stick with, meeting weekly? Do you wanna do 5 o'clock early in the evening, or what?
I think that the schedule's been, we meet weekly during budget season because there's so much changing in real time. It seems to me like we were just saying that these weekly meetings are light, and I'd prefer to have a longer meeting and have not,
Yeah, you kill the
Yeah.
night, kill the whole night.
right. And then the other thing is the 5 o'clock, what we've been doing too, is doing 5 o'clock during the dark months.
Yeah.
And then that works for Emery too, who can come in later, but for those of us who have to work longer during the hotter months, we pop it back to 6.
Sure.
And so when would we anticipate switching to every other week again?
I don't remember what we did last year.
I think that, I mean,
Did we go all the way to town?
I think it was probably
No,
after
I think so.
town meeting.
Really?
Really?
I
That's
seem to
what-
recall that November ended it and December was,
Because we're doing it to grind through the budget.
I mean,
But we've already
sure.
done much of it.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of it. You're gonna meet with all of the nonprofits in January, where Emily and I are gonna start scheduling them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say between, as far as assessing wise goes and your signatures go, between right now and April, there are a lot of abatements being filed, you know,
a lot of
credits and
abatements.
exemptions, applications that get signed, so,
It seems like it works pretty well most times to have 3 of us come in and sign things that pop up,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
if
if
you
it's,
don't
if it's
need-
urgent, yeah.
Yeah, if we don't need
Yeah,
a
if you
meeting.
just need signatures,
Yeah.
you can usually
okay.
work that.
And then I think we switched back to 6 o'clock in like May or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
whenever you
Clock
start
change.
having the
Yeah.
summer season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we actually said last year,
Was
isn't
it
it?
the
When we did the time changes, we were gonna
Which
switch
whenever
it.
that is.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
they keep changing it, I think.
So would it make sense to pick a date and go back to every other, or just keep them weekly and then cancel them when we want to?
I mean, at this
I
point,
would-
we're out next week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If we met the 5th, the 12th is a great skip. The 19th puts us right before Christmas, and then we're into the new year.
So start with the new year back to every other week?
No, I'm saying we can start
Start
every other
now.
week right now.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we're already not
Kind
gonna
of
be next
bumping
week
into it.
anyways,
Yeah.
and then with the holiday schedule.
Unless you see a problem with that.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, yeah, as we said.
The
we can
meetings
come-
are very light,
We
so.
can come in and sign documents
Mm-hmm.
in between.
I could go every other, but maybe keep those, keep your
Thursdays open.
Tuesdays.
Oh, Tuesday. When
When
do we
are we
just
gonna
start the
switch to
Tuesday?
Keep your
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays light.
January 1st, or?
That's right.
I don't think you should switch them for December because.
Right, I agree.
Let's
I think
start with
January makes sense.
the first of the
Okay.
year.
January? I'm okay with January.
So if we do that, I mean, the 5th and the 19th are our last only 2 board meetings for the rest of the year. Other than next week on Tuesday for the.
Yeah, the 19th, we'll probably have a lot of things.
Yeah.
We're gonna be closing out, hopefully, the bid on the
Hopefully,
transfer station.
awarding a bid for the transfer station.
Is this on?
We're in public session. Thank you.
Oops.
So then January 7th would be our first Tuesday?
Yes?
I'm thrown because I don't see Maureen and Jim.
At 5 p.m.
In the waiting room maybe?
No, it's just us.
Okay. Well, that's good, nobody can
Gosh, now I'm gonna have to go change my whole
Nobody
phone.
missed it.
And a couple other things agenda-wise that I've been wondering about is, I think for most people, the signature file is meaningless, so I suggest put it at the end. And put the select board updates right after the administrator's update.
And public input.
And the other question was public input. Do we want to switch that to earlier?
I think so.
Move signature.
You want that at the beginning of the meeting?
I think it'd be great to give us more time to talk about things in our select board update if we wanted to, not having the public wait until the very end of the meeting and
Yeah, I think
slog
that's-
through
yeah.
everything. Even if we had two, I mean, we could have one in the beginning, one in the end.
We used to do that.
I think we did that.
I guess I'd vote for, I would opt for one
Mhm.
earlier, and if people have an agenda item they want to comment on, we've generally allowed that as
Right,
well.
sure.
So
So
where
you-
would public input be?
It used to be
Right at the
before new
beginning.
business.
So right after changes
Yeah.
to the agenda.
Would anybody like to make some public input on that?
I was gonna say we could ask for public input.
Yeah.
I would just say a lot of times, the public comments at the end of the meeting,
Our
because they're
basic,
not allowed to speak,
Right.
during, so that's the only issue, is then they'd have to wait to the next meeting to bring it up.
If something comes up
Right.
during, well, if it's an
Well,
agenda
well,
item,
like
we
Maureen-
generally allow public.
We can, yeah, we can, if they raise their hand.
I mean, Maureen
can be
often
called on
has
for-
comments on the meeting
Right.
at that
Yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
and they're always so nice.
Which is
Right.
why we could always just have two.
I was gonna say, I don't mind going back to two and try, I mean, it's,
It used to be two.
yeah. Why, what, because public input at the beginning is useful if somebody comes because they wanna address us about something that they're bringing to us.
Yeah. And then
Public
they go.
input at the end is useful because, like Maureen's a great example. And Bruno
Watches
does
the
it, and
meeting,
Bruno does
yeah.
this too. They listen to the meeting and they've got comments or
Comment,
questions or
yeah.
kind of like an overall
Yeah.
observation,
Okay,
and that's
you
gonna
can
be
do
the
both.
end.
So
And
that,
so the second one would be where? Before or after a signature file?
I would move select board update and public input after administrator report before signature file.
now, can we put
Where
a time
are you putting
limitation?
it? I missed that.
Okay.
After admin report,
Oh,
before
public
signature
input.
file,
Okay.
and select board update.
Okay.
Should we is there a way to put a time limitation on it, just so we don't have a bunch of public input that then pushes the entire meeting back an hour?
Well,
I mean,
it's just a matter of controlling it.
We
You know,
can.
Yeah.
better off whenever we.
Okay.
Public
Yeah.
input is
Thank
usually,
you for your input.
can be just comments you make.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't have to be dialogue, we
No,
right.
can just hear it, take notes and
Yeah.
Say thank you
and
for
move
your
on if
input.
there's not time to engage.
Okay, so I
Wow.
have the meetings.
And if the meetings get swamped and we're overflowing with public input, we can tackle that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That'd be a nice problem.
I was gonna
Okay,
say
so
that.
we're switching meetings to Tuesday as of January 1st, or beginning of the year. Moving signature file to the end of the agenda, putting public input back at the beginning of the agenda and right before the signature file.
Yep.
And
the
going
first
to every
Tuesday
other
would be-
week, starting
When the
now.
clocks change. Oh, now and then, yeah,
Yeah.
and go to 6 o'clock when the clocks.
Going to every other week, starting now, going to 6
PM.
o'clock when the clocks change.
Yeah, and select board update also gets moved up right after administrative report. Signature file's that last thing we're gonna do,
Okay,
unless we've done non-publics.
And the first Tuesday would be the 7th.
Yeah. Make sure Emily gets home.
nobody's trying to join.
Weird.
I know.
Probably all the
Are you,
Thanksgiving prep they're doing.
You good with all that?
I'm good with that, I'm thinking I would try to have the agenda posted, by Friday and give you guys meeting prep ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then it's nice, Mondays we're closed, so
Mhm.
if you have to come in and talk about anything.
Yeah.
Or any last minute changes, but yeah.
Great.
We'll see how it works.
Well, and let's heartily encourage people to go to school meetings.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Ed, do you ever cover school meetings anywhere? School board meetings?
Yeah, I did the Government Wentworth Regional School District for a while.
Fun.
I can imagine, I've heard,
All
not
right.
about you, but about those meetings. Rough.
Moving on to old business. Recreation Director update.
Well, I don't know who wants to make the announcement, but we have somebody has accepted the position, Jeremy Phillips, to start on, I believe, January 2nd. And I wrote out a motion. You
Oh,
all
yeah.
have to
Yep.
make a motion to hire him. And I think he's gonna be so great,
Me too, yeah.
really wonderful.
So I make a motion to hire Jeremy Phillips as the new Tamworth Recreation Director at $50,000 annually, to increase to $52,000 at the 6-month mark, contingent on a positive evaluation, and with a 3 weeks vacation as part of the benefits.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Did you say yes?
Barry, yes?
Schaefer, yes.
Francis, yes.
I didn't mention a start date, but it would be first of the year.
To start on January
Yeah,
2nd.
January 2nd.
Emily, you've done an amazing job
Oh,
pulling the rec department into like a fine program.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so thank you for that.
Yeah.
And
It'll be nice, I'll be right there, so.
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be really great having, being able to hand it off to Jeremy, who's got great background and skills and passion, seamlessly without a big exhaustive surgery.
Yeah.
You got so
Oh,
lucky.
I know it, I know it.
Yeah, so
So
thank
glad.
you for all you did to
Oh,
make the program, like revitalize it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
All right, budget discussion. We have an update on the numbers after last week's decisions.
Yeah, I want to share the screen, and you know I'm always a little slow at that. Why is it? Share. Oh, because I'm supposed to click here. Multiple? Yeah. Okay. Then. Oh, not in Zoom.
Your camera's fine, but if you
Well, I'm gonna get it on.
First I gotta join Zoom. Hang on. Tamworth. And select board meeting, and I'm gonna click that. Okay.
That's a loud clock.
yeah, it is.
What?
Find it so satisfying. It's like,
The host has joined, let them, I have to admit myself. Where's my thing? Oh, there
Upper
it is.
right. Nope, you had it expanded again. Expand the waiting
What did
room.
I do? I mean,
Just
oh,
minimize the
oh,
waiting room. And then, yeah.
nope,
And then
up, yep,
to the
oh.
right.
Oh my
there you
god.
go.
Terrible to have that be giant screen.
Speaking of the budget, did you get to order that little tripod for the owl?
I did not.
That'd be great. That's $20.
Emily,
Tripod
got
for
that
the owl.
got that to-do list?
It's like $19.99 on Amazon, and then we can get rid of that
That damn
plastic
thing's
tote.
ugly.
So ugly. And the tripod can go out a little bit more, so it really gets good.
Sorry,
away
it's
from
taking
us.
so long.
It's alright, I'm filling the time for you. What'd you say?
Get it further from us.
No, they can see you better.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So, just real high level on the budget. After all the choices we made last week, we got to,
Can you move the cursor off that number?
yep,
Thank you.
we got to 5.165 million. We, you opted to spend 443,000 from the unassigned fund balance, and I can go over what each of those is in a moment. Our estimated revenues are currently estimated with grants and everything in there. These are not property taxes. These are all the other fees and small taxes.
right.
Yep.
At 2.29 million. You put in the overlay for the veterans benefit. You put in the overlay for the abatements. And you get to an initial tax effort of 2.656 million. Okay? So I'm going to take us over here to this column Q. So we've got this 2.65 million. If you look at 2024's tax effort, we settled on, after spending $425,000 to bring the number down,
Right.
we settled on 2,584,000, okay? So the very good news is that you're only $71,000 over that number without having used any unassigned fund balance.
Wow, okay.
Yep. So, so next fall, when you get to the tax
Yeah.
relief moment that you may or may not choose to use, if you, you might not need to use any of the unassigned fund balance, or you can use a small amount and just sort of gradually bring it down. I think, one of the things I wanted to point out is the overall tax effort has been coming down. We were at 2.83, pretty close with 2.92. Last year we got to 2024. This year we got to 2.54, and right now, without any unassigned fund balance, we're at 2.656. I would suggest that you cut 71,000 and get it so we're even with this 2024's tax
Yeah.
effort. I think that the budget could easily take a $71,000 cut from, you get each department of the big ones to take 10, 15.
And that number reflects what we did last week.
It includes all the choices you made last week, yes.
Does it include any new additions that might have come in?
It does include 2 new additions. One is the Energy Committee had not yet given me the cost for the EV charging stations. That's a net neutral impact because it's grant funded. There's no tax implications for that. So 71,000 in revenues, or 72,000 in revenue, and 72,000 in appropriated expense. It's funded by the Tamworth Foundation and a state grant.
Which has not been awarded yet.
Which has not been awarded yet. So you'd
So
write
it's-
the warrant article to say it goes away, null and void.
It should be awarded by
But
the
no
end of
tax
the year.
implication.
No tax implication. And then the other thing was, and this is, so we have the separation obligation expendable trust. And that trust, we spent about 15 to 16,000 to
Yeah.
fulfill a
For
separation
retirement.
obligation. And so, you have a choice of refilling that bucket of 30,000, and I would recommend that you do. And it would be a warrant article that would do that.
Okay.
Because you have several employees, that if they all
Closing
left
it
at
on.
once,
Yeah.
but I think in 3 years or 5 years or whenever all those employees have left, then you probably wouldn't need to refill it for a while, because there's not that many, then there's a lot of younger people. So that's good news. So that also wasn't in the budget last week. So those are the 2 additions, about 15,000 for the separation obligation and 72,000 for the EV charger.
Nothing from highway for salary?
That is in there, but the highway brought their budget down as you directed to
Yeah.
the 1,068,000. And that's where the salaries numbers are adjusted.
Okay, so that went up, but other things went
But
down.
other things went
Right.
down.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to plant a seed, since I won't be here, to kind of guide this through, and Emily and I have talked about this. In 2023, we created those 3 expendable trusts for infrastructure, town buildings, and equipment, repair and maintenance. And I'll take the fall for this. I didn't ask the right questions of the attorney. When she gave me language, I just assumed that expendable trust, you could expend it to purchase things.
Purchase.
It didn't say purchase in the language. My bad for not catching that. There's 3 options. And before I go through those options, the background on that was that we used to have $200,000 in the contingency fund every year. And we'd spend some small portion, and then it would all go into the unassigned fund balance, and we'd re-raise the money. And it also turned out that the law dictates that you can only do a 1% contingency fund. It's 1% less capital and interest on bonds. So that brought our contingency fund down to, at the time, 35,000. Now it's 42, but then it was 35. So a way to solve for that and not have such a low contingency was to create the expendable trust. And we created these 3 buckets. And for example, Sandwich budgets much more tightly. They don't have huge amounts going into their unassigned fund balance every year. And they use this exact model but they'll like take $400 out of it to repair something. We have enough cushion in our budget that so far we haven't used it for repair or maintenance. And so I say that by way of, that's a good thing to know when you're trying to get people to tighten up the budget. The repair line for all of the budgets is pretty cushy. So you could have a tighter repair line, either, town buildings, all of the departments could be a little tighter in the repair line, and then there's this bucket of money that's there. You only raise what you spend. So if you have $150,000 in this bucket, and you spend $10,000, then the next year you repay that, just the $10,000. So I think it's a useful model. Anyway, okay, there's 3 ways
But
we
it's
can.
good that you mentioned we can bring that up with the department heads.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And if you want them to cut the 71,000, that's a thing to mention. And that money is expendable at the discretion of the select board. You're authorized to expend. Okay, so
then,
let me go through the 3 options.
Yeah.
Or do you have a
yeah,
question
no,
first?
that's what I wanted to.
Oh, okay. So the 3 different ways is, 1, you could simply fix the language in all 3 of the expendable trusts. And there'd be a warrant article for each one, fixing the language. In that instance, you need a 2/3 vote at town meeting to fix it, which, this is all tax neutral, so.
Why does the language have to be fixed for all 3? If it's-
Because it says to repair and maintain, and it should say to repair, maintain, and purchase.
But that's only for one of the expendable trusts.
There's 3 trusts, there's one for town buildings, there's one for, let me go through it. So
Yeah,
one for town, equipment, town buildings, and infrastructure, okay. So, that's one option, is you fix the language 2/3 vote. Another option is, you have warrant articles that cancel all 3, and you rewrite the language, and you create 3 new expendable trusts that have the correct language. In which case, you only need a majority vote. Okay? Option 3 that we discussed, that we haven't had a chance to vet with a town attorney, is why not put all that money in one bucket and make it a broader purpose, which is to fix anything the town has broken. No, anything in a infrastructure, equipment, or whatever, buildings, and just create the one bucket. I am not totally sure why we created the 3. It was a lot of conversations with Christine. I know in her advice, because I looked up some emails today, that she said you do want to have a broad purpose for these funds, for the expendable trusts. So to me, to make it one bucket with $150,000 that has a broader purpose seems like a sensible thing to do. Then you could buy a $105,000 item out of the fund, and then if you had an emergency collapse of.
So that would require doing away with the 3
And
forming one.
And again, that would be a majority vote, a 51% vote would make that work. And again, these are all tax neutral. We have the money, it's already been raised.
Right.
And
So
we
we
just want to make it more flexible, because right now it's only available for repair and maintenance, and our repair and maintenance lines in our budgets are very cushy. So we haven't accessed it. But if we did that, for example, we could not budget for the compactor.
Yeah, because it's not a repair, it's a replacement.
It's a replacement, and so if it said that you could purchase something,
Right.
then you would just take the compactor out of the budget until you had to buy it. But we're not gonna do that because we can't risk it, because our current one doesn't.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
So
So
it
I
just
think-
gives you more flexibility.
I think if it's explained well at town meeting, it shouldn't be an issue.
especially when you're not raising any more money, you're
Yeah.
just
Yeah, just
putting it
changing.
into a different pot.
Yeah,
And allowing the town to access it more flexibly.
right.
I would go for the one if Christine says
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
thing.
I agree.
Simple is nice.
Number
Yeah.
3, you mean? Option
Yeah.
3.
Option 3.
Option 3.
Yeah.
I think so too. And by the way, Christina's out for a couple months.
With
But,
Rick,
yeah.
whatever's in is there.
So,
And I think we have to remember in budget season to tighten up those repair lines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
Particularly the big departments.
right, so, I guess the next question, did we decide, so do you want to go back to the department heads and find that 71,000, or leave it as is?
oh, you mean make it flat from,
Yeah,
I think we should try to cut the 71,000
Yeah.
and you know, we can work with them if they want to, and the obvious first place to look is each of the departments had lines that were like significantly higher over their trends of actuals for the past few years. So,
Do you know
Between
what-
that and repair?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what the sum of all the repair lines are?
I don't.
Cause that might,
it's
That's
hard
how
to,
you fix it, right there.
And you know, if you said to all the larger departments, we need to collectively cut 70,000, if 70,000 is, what's 10% of 5,000,000, 50,000?
Yeah.
So we need to cut 12%. You 5 biggest departments find 12%, and they can take it out of whatever line they want, but we can also let them know, by the way, there is an emergency fund that you can use to repair things, so.
So we're pretty much talking about highway, police, fire, transfer station.
Highway,
I mean, that's
police,
it.
fire, transfer station,
maintenance maybe.
maybe, some out of, I don't know if there's enough, I don't know if there's any cushion in the town admin, maybe government building, I don't know, you know, we'd have to look, but yeah. I mean, those are the majority.
Well, I mean, I'd put it out there generally to them right now, and then we'll see where we are after Thanksgiving with their efforts, and then we can
Do some more.
dial down if we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my concern only with dialing down is that what if that doesn't, the warrant article doesn't get passed? I
Yeah.
mean, as unlikely as it might be, I think.
Well, and like, I can't do this theoretically without looking at the 48 pages of budget, but maybe there are other areas too. Maybe it
Sure.
doesn't I'm not saying it has to be the, that maintenance line.
I would just hate to do that in anticipation of the warrant article passing and something
Yeah.
not going.
Yeah.
Well, so you could get that warrant article passed and then get tighter next year. I mean, it's-
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the budget definitely has room to cut 71,000, if not more, but that's kind of a rationale.
And if worse comes to worse and the warrant article doesn't pass, and
It's repairs.
they've cut those 3 areas out, because they're gonna have to do that first before they can pass the next one. It goes back into the unassigned fund balance, so there's the 150,000 or
yeah,
whatever
so-
that's already sitting there.
Oh,
Right.
You
So
mean if
we
it
can-
didn't pass, the 150 goes in the other side?
Yeah,
And they would still have it for repairs regardless of the
right,
warrant article passing, we just wouldn't have the ability for purchases.
right.
Say that again?
If the warrant article to combine, or to do away and create one combined.
Because you have to do away first and then you create.
That's what I was just saying,
So you'll
so,
have done away with your 3 expendable trusts.
Right.
so we might not have those.
Oh, I see what
We
you're saying.
could
So
get
in
rid of
the-
everything,
in
which
the
is
order
why
of
I'm saying then it goes
operations, we have
back
to
into
dice
the, yeah,
And you don't have access to it until the following year.
yeah,
Yeah,
Because it wouldn't be appropriate.
yeah. So there's like 3 minutes when we might not have it.
yeah.
Well, hopefully.
But we'll
Okay.
explain it well,
Right.
that
Yeah, I
there's no
think so.
additional tax burden by making it available. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's money the taxpayers have raised and they should have more, there should be more access to it.
So would the warrant article be combined to dissolve the 3 and combine the 1? So that
I
you
think
couldn't
so.
dissolve 1 but not also have, you know, you couldn't dissolve the 3 and then vote.
Well, so create one first and then dissolve?
Oh,
no,
whichever-
he's
I'm
saying,
saying,
is
could
it
the
one
warrant article-
warrant article or does it have to be 2? I bet it's gonna have to be 2 because it was created under,
yeah.
It's gonna be more than that. You have to have a warrant article to
For
dissolve
each-
each
for
one.
each one, you
And
did
then
say
you're gonna
that.
have a
Yeah.
warrant article
Okay.
to
I was gonna say
create.
4.
I'm pretty sure. Cause every time, like, we've dissolved a couple of, capital reserve funds and it's an individual.
yeah. I'm not worried,
Yeah.
it's gonna work,
Catastrophizing, that's what I did.
that's okay.
Okay, so basically, I think the budget's in pretty good shape. Other than probably continuing to tighten it up. And Emily, I think, has a pretty solid handle. And I'm a mere phone call away. So yeah, I think the budget's good. We're in a good place.
Is there, this is ancillary, but is there a way to know, like to sort for the number in Kim's office to find out how many people's with the revaluation, how many people's taxes went up versus how many people's went down? Can we get that data?
That'd be hard to, I'll talk to
She
Jim
might
about
be
it.
able to do a report.
Yeah, it's hard, that'd be hard. We might be able to pull a report from Avatar.
One of the things we've learned
Probably
is
can
this
get
whole
those,
thing is,
the valuation went up or down, but the tax bill is a separate matter.
I'm interested in the tax bill
Right.
because,
it's surprisingly,
Well-
it's weirdly complicated.
Yeah.
Well, was the total budget higher? I mean, when you include,
For municipal or everything?
no, everything,
Yes,
and that's what sets the tax bill. So even if we keep it flat, the tax
The
bill
school
can still be
budget's
higher.
no, I know that,
Oh,
I know
but
okay.
that.
some people's
I
bills
just,
went down.
right,
Oh,
Yeah, mine went
Because
down a
they're-
little bit. If you had a chunk of land in current use, the value of current use went up faster than the value of the house and the land.
Right.
And I was
Oh,
surprised
okay.
at that.
all right.
So my taxes went down $176 tax bill.
Right.
And it took us a while to figure it out.
Yeah.
And each situation has its own little unique twist.
right.
And if you have land in current use and it's a certain land that has more value, like
Near the
timber
road
that
or
could
something.
be harvested
Yeah.
or cornfield, then that's worth more than a rocky pasture.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't know it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, and, yeah, so,
Yeah, so we're all in, you're also seeing, so like some mobile homes or manufactured housing units which tripled in value, because that's just what the market dictates. Versus, a $1 million home that maybe only went up to
Double.
1.3 million or 1.5 million.
Yeah.
So just that percentage
Right.
across the board dictates how your tax bill's assessed, or how it's
Yeah.
calculated.
and right, and each property has such a distinct set of issues, like they added a new porch and they have a rocky field and whatever it is, there's so many different pieces that go into it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for the two numbers, like how many went up and how many went down. I mean,
Yeah,
and,
I'd
and,
like to
and
know
I'm not
that.
gonna parse the variables, but it would be interesting to know. I mean, if we could get other data about like what value, if you could look at, homes between 150,000 and 350,000 value, how many of those went up and down? That would be
Those
interesting
all went
too.
up.
Yeah, all of them.
Well, yeah, the more affordable homes are more likely to have tripled in value because of the market pressure.
Right.
And the higher end homes were more to be 50 to 100% higher than they were 5 years ago. I don't know what'll happen in the next 5 years. It's an unfortunate market dynamic
Right.
that is impacting people hard. It's very, Michaela's had a rough,
It's been a rough
it's been
week
difficult.
in the
I bet.
office.
We really, and we are empathetic and wish we could solve it, but we can't.
Yeah.
And we encourage people to speak with Rod and file an abatement application and, whatever they, sometimes we're wrong. Like sometimes Rod has too much value, thinks there's another garage or whatever, and so we'll fix it. We're happy to,
Yeah.
Right, and that's the other question that we're getting a lot in the office is people, because of the letter we sent out explaining that this is a reval year, a lot of people are under the impression that that means their assessor came this year to see their property, and that's not necessarily true, right? We go out and assess 20% of the town every year, and then at the 5-year mark, bring everybody up to market value at the same time.
Right.
So, yes, you might not have seen your assessor in your yard this past year. So, yeah, if you think something on your assessment card is off, make an appointment. And that's what the abatement process is about, so.
so he'll be very busy.
I bet.
And we have on Tuesday a stack of abatements, not that thick. Most of those are all, do you have a question?
No,
Oh.
well, I do, but I didn't know if I could ask it at this time.
That's up to our,
I think that it would be fine if you asked a question.
Is it about this topic? Sure.
Yeah, it is, yeah, just because I'm on Gilman Valley Road
Yeah.
and the track You know, has that increased the value of a property, stayed the same, has it taken into account,
That's a good question.
That's a,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Anecdotally, someone tried to get an abatement because of the track, and Rod had market comps that showed that it hadn't reduced that person's. I don't know how, I know the track was the issue. I don't know how far they were or how it compares to your situation. If you have that question, you should talk to him.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Question.
You hear it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, cause you're right
right there,
right
baby.
there, yeah.
You know, and I don't hate it, but it is, it's every day,
Yeah.
from 9 to 5.
Every day, really?
Every day,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, they're running over there all the time.
It's so funny how the geography too, because I'm just in South Tamworth and that little shoulder, I don't hear
Well,
it
it
at all.
depends the way the wind blows too, because
Yeah.
I'll be around town,
Yeah.
I'll be down on, what's the name of the, is it Duval Road? No.
Durrell.
Durrell.
Durrell Road,
Yeah.
yeah, down at a friend of mine's house.
Yeah.
And, some days you can hear it,
Mhm.
but some days you
Yeah.
can't, but Gilman
It's-
Valley and then, you know, people, there's just a couple homes right on Route 25 near
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's a good question though.
I
I'm
would,
waiting for them to start night racing. They're gonna put
oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
not
you,
supposed
if
to
you
I
wanna
hope that
speak
the
with
tax,
Rod,
I didn't look it up, I hope the taxes that come from there are pretty good.
they are.
What's it's the I was looking recently at the documentation that the track owners put together when they were trying to get it approved. They estimated that their annual tax bill would be $350,000.
But-
Which I don't know who did that fuzzy math, but it's less than half that.
Well, I think it's around 100, but we
It
can.
is over 100.
Yeah.
Well, they're starting to build structures.
There's a lot of
Yep.
structure now
And
that's new, yeah.
the assessor is aware that they're building structures, so their tax bill will be less.
But that original plan, like the original plan that was shared
Mhm.
included, like a hotel, a
I-
restaurant and things like that.
There was a clubhouse, I don't think there was ever a hotel.
And they spoke about
They
it.
spoke about a hotel with a restaurant.
Not in the documents that I've read,
Yeah.
but
There's a plan for condos.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, there was a lot of infrastructure that was gonna be built that I think probably would, if it were built, it has not been built, would end up being
Oh, the
significantly
300.
more in taxes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not there yet.
So, I think that's the end of my budget stuff.
So you really are done.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Not
Yeah.
until she hasn't done her
No, just this
administrator's
budget
report yet.
discussion, I wanna say that your recommendations have been highly valued.
Oh, thank you.
Very much.
I like budgeting.
Yeah.
you're a lunatic.
You're a lunatic.
What?
He said you're a lunatic.
That may be.
Anybody said that. I have a scheduling question. I have a lot of Board of Selectmen meetings on my calendar, and I'm sure we're not having them all. So we've got, today's the 21st, we have a meeting Tuesday.
Yeah?
We don't have a meeting Thursday. How about the 5th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then the 12th?
No.
No, we skipped the
I'll
12th.
skip the 12th, so the 19th.
Yep,
I
Wait,
should
we're skipping
cancel-
the 12th?
the 5th and the 19th.
Because
That's
we're
what we
The
just
5th
talked
and the
about,
19th,
yeah.
that's it.
Oh, great.
okay.
And I would urge you to hold Thursday free in case Emily needs to have some reason, I don't know,
Yeah.
just, that was always sort of the deal.
And then the 7th, we start select board.
Yep.
At 5 PM still. Repeat. Okay.
All right, so
All right,
what's next?
that's, your report.
Oh, okay. The bank balance is $2,778,972. It's going up, taxes are being collected, and Annie is managing that whole flow of cash. Emily and I are basically training all day, all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is there anything? Oh, we hung the bicentennial quilt in the conference room.
That
It
was
looks
great.
really great.
Cool.
And it's just a beautiful thing. And one of the things that you'll have to bring to these guys' attention is, and I'm not even gonna try and say the term for 250th celebration of the founding of the country. It's like,
Something sesqui something. There's a sesqui in there.
yeah, there's like, it's unpronounceable. But anyway, I brought it up once about a few months ago and sort of felt like a ton of lead, or a ton of bricks. I really think that we should do something to get a committee going to celebrate this thing. I mean, that bicentennial quilt is awesome. You know, what could the town do that would look back 50 years from now and say, that was really cool, you know?
Yeah.
So I know, I don't know what that might look like, but I
Is the
just,
History Center not gonna tackle
I
that?
I don't know. But I think it's worth a discussion that there be maybe a town committee created, or partner with the library and create something, or
Yeah.
So we could call it quarter millennial, which is a little easier to say than semi-quincentennial.
semi-quincentennial.
Oh,
that's
show
the
off.
I can read.
Semi-quincentennial, that's actually not so bad.
I think quarter millennial is a little
You're
easier.
getting like Sasquatch.
Quarter millennial, okay, so 250th.
When is it?
Sounds like Hunger Games.
What
Well,
year
it'd
is
be
it?
26.
Oh,
Oh,
So
yeah.
make the committee now.
yeah.
I mean, they probably took a year to make that quilt.
We'll do the food again.
Yeah, we
Tomorrow.
can do the
We'll
food.
take care of the food.
I'll make a quilt square.
Yeah, make it just a square.
Just a square. I
You're
can make the whole quilt.
Oh my gosh.
What's so cool about that quilt is it's made by, I don't know, 15 people, I don't know how many, 16 people.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was neat to see the names.
All right, good idea.
Oh, the other part of, is you guys we've done this the last couple of years, a holiday lunch, just
Oh, yeah.
for all the
Town
town
employees,
employees, committee members, board members. So if I've already kind of got that in the works, if you're all set with it.
What date are you looking at?
Monday, December 16th.
I've invited myself.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's isn't on there.
Holiday.
The Preserve was kind enough to donate their space again.
Okay, what time is that?
So Mondays
12 to
worked well
1:30.
because the office is closed
Yeah, but
at
what time?
12 to 1:30.
But it's at the Preserve?
Yeah.
Not at the town office? You mean
Yes.
the town house?
Yeah.
Correct.
You didn't make it last year.
No, it's
It was
that
so
day for me.
nice.
Yeah.
Mondays are rough. Yeah.
Well, it's because it's the TCCP gift pickup day,
Oh,
and it was last year too.
Yeah.
So save me a sandwich or something.
So when is it again?
the 16th
16
at 12 to
12
1:30.
1:30.
Thanks for organizing that.
Sure.
We should invite Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your report. And now we move to the signature file. I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 14th, 2024.
Second?
Did you read the bank balance?
I did.
Okay, sorry.
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
There, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
I just, yes.
I make a motion to approve the non-public meeting minutes November 14th, 2024, under RSA 91A32B, Session 1, and RSA 91A32C, Session 2.
Second?
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
Barry, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
I just, yes.
I make a motion to approve a driveway permit application for map 20835.
Second?
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
Barry, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, yes.
Make a motion to approve an abatement of $2,589 for map 408 lot 49, incorrect owner bill.
Second?
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
Barry, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, yes.
Make a motion to approve a supplemental warrant for map 408 lot 49 in the amount of $2,589, billing the correct owner.
Second?
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
Barry, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, yes.
Make a motion to approve the payroll in the amount of $76,764.84.
Second?
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
Barry, yes.
Schaefer, yes.
Prentice, thank you. We're in that payroll, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
His thinking
That's why
longer
it's
than
so
yes.
big.
I think
Yeah,
I would love
all
to see
the
this.
stipends and everything got paid.
Make a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $13,137.70.
Second.
Roll call vote.
You said yes?
Barry, yes.
Schaefer, yes?
I just was.
The cash used year to date, $10,644,019.86.
Old number.
Yeah. Select board update.
We've had 5 or 6 or so potential bidders on the transfer station bathroom.
Wow.
We had, that's how many people have requested copies of the plans and specs.
Nice.
We had a optional pre-bid meeting on site today, and 2 potential bidders did appear. One I had heard of, one I had not. You just read about it in the newspaper, so people are interested. The bidding closes December 4th, and hopefully we'll get some good bids by then.
Awesome.
That's it.
Great. I have nothing to report.
Same, I have nothing.
So we had planning board last night, and I shared with them because the planning board creates, is the umbrella over CIP. And I shared with them our recommendation that rather than, or in addition to, but probably rather than a select board member being rep to CIP, the town administrator do it, because the town administrator, because, we've been having that conversation, because the town administrator has the budget info in real time as it changes, and it would save a lot of time and frustration for CIP to be in the know at each of their meetings.
How often do they meet?
They meet monthly,
From like May to
yeah.
November.
So planning board thought that made a lot of sense, and Sheldon, I think, was gonna talk to Kathy Paget, who's the chair, and based on her reaction the other day when she presented the CIP to us, sounds like she would appreciate that, like, real time.
Yeah, changes.
And I was the select board rep, a year ago, and even I, couldn't keep up with, I just don't have, we don't have the information in real time the way the town administrator does. So I think that for CIP to be really effective, that would be really helpful to them.
And one of the things that happened, for instance, this year is we negotiated with the fire department on what to do about the,
Yeah,
and so not everybody's tuned into that, so.
yeah. Well, and that negotiation should happen all the time.
Yeah.
So it should be a practice going forward. The planning board is also, we've been drafting, we're super close to a final draft of a letter, 1-page letter that's gonna get mailed out to everybody in town. There's a chance that there'll be an insert from the Conservation Commission too. Definitely the planning board letter, but likely the conservation insert, have to do with the land use regulations we do have in town. There's an enormous amount of building going on in town, and we want to make sure that everybody understands that there are some rules, whether they're state laws that have been adopted by the town, or whether they're regulations that the town's created. I mean, we've had land use regulations for 50-odd years. We don't have a lot of them, and they're not very micromanaging, but they are legally binding, so people should know before they start construction or something that could end up having repercussions to them because they just weren't aware. A lot of people think no zoning in Tamworth means no rules at all, and so that's gonna be an educational piece that will go out. And that was it for planning board. But one thing I wanted to ask is, and we've also talked about this several times, what's the appropriate step to take to encourage that a select board member be a rep to the school board meetings, and that a school board member be a rep to the select board meetings. I think that those two, the library, conservation commission, all that's important and nice information to have, but if we're talking about fiduciary responsibility, those are the two heavy hitters, and speaking of knowing what's going on in real time, it would be super helpful if we knew what was going on with the school budget in real
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Maybe we should pull out the list of who's the liaison with which committee, maybe sometime in the next few weeks. And it seems like, CIP's coming off, so there's one less thing to do, so maybe
Yep.
school committee's another, we can replace it.
Yeah, so I mean, should we reach out to Jack, have that conversation? I'm happy to talk to him about it. I just feel like it's
Yeah, I mean,
we're working in silos, and that doesn't make sense.
I don't see why he'd have an issue with it because it's a public meeting, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's a certain level of
Yeah.
interplay that goes on. I mean, at least in the meetings that I go to as a rep.
And you're thinking they may come and report in?
I
Quarterly,
think
or-
that it would be great for them to come and report in, and for us to be able to question or engage somehow too. Yeah.
Did you happen to read the article? It was, had to do with the Department of Education head in the state of New Hampshire saying that there's gonna be no more money available
Yeah.
for special education.
Oh my
Really?
God, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
What?
So,
Was that just recent,
so,
Mark?
yeah, it was this
It was.
week, yeah,
Yeah, so-
last week.
Wow.
So one of the, so as the story went down, and he gave his reasons why, and then the paper had asked some parents of students that had been in special education, and they said that there is a situation where the students have come out of special education, but they're still using their students to get access to that funding. Not the parents, but the school systems. So I guess it's a housekeeping situation, and hopefully, but he's saying that if there's gonna be more special education funding required, the towns are gonna be on the hook.
And some of those are legal mandates that you can't
Yeah.
not
Well,
fund.
it's all a legal mandate.
Probably.
Yeah,
Wow.
So,
well, on a federal level, they're gonna do away with the
That's not.
Department of Education.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, that's a big hit right
But-
there.
it's
Yeah,
almost, it's an impossible hit for a lot of people.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You know what I mean? So, and I gotta just say, I was gonna wait to the very end, but, you guys are doing a good job trying to, keep things as lean as you can. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Because like you said, it's the people that come in that have issues and have tough decisions to make regarding what they can afford and can't. It's just, I just think it's not right.
Well, if you could talk to Jack, do you want me to? I'm happy
I don't
to.
mind talking to him.
Okay,
I wasn't mind talking to Jack.
yeah.
Mark, can you spell your name for me?
Sure.
I've got two versions
It's
of it.
easy.
Debit?
Like
So
a debit
DEB.
card.
Okay, that's what I thought. But then I saw,
ETTO.
okay, that's what I have.
I know. I would rather have my grandparents' last name, it's a lot easier.
What was that?
Just Ramsey.
Oh. I thought you were gonna go with something like. Okay,
Okay.
I will talk
That's
to Jack.
not good news. When, is that for 2025 or 2026?
It's coming right up now, this year, yeah.
But that has to go through
Upcoming budget.
legislation. Anyway, we'll see
I read the article, I saw nothing about that, nothing about legislation.
how that works.
So maybe it's already gone through
Oh,
some,
wow.
Oh, I can't imagine.
meetings and
That's not
discussion,
gonna
how they're
fall
gonna, well,
down.
because
Looking at it right
Fish
now.
and Game's in big trouble. And they have a new chief, Fish and Game, and they're in dire straits right now too, so.
Fishing game too?
Yeah, they feel they're gonna have to be able to dip into the general fund to stay
Well,
viable, yeah.
Those hiker rescues, they run.
You're not a public employee yet, right?
I'm done with my report, so.
So I guess we are.
Okay,
I just had one more question about, the potential for the gifted property, where's that stand?
We've got the second public hearing Tuesday.
Oh,
we
okay.
have to have two, yeah, we have to
We have to have
public
two by
hearings.
law, yep.
Oh, okay, so I thought it was gonna be tonight, but,
Oh,
And then we have X
So
number of
Tuesday
days
here?
before
You have
we
to
go
have
to
it-
decide.
Tuesday at
Just-
5.
There's a
Yeah.
prescribed number of days between the first and second one,
Okay,
which is
understood.
why it's
I
Tuesday.
can
And then there's a prescribed number of days before we can decide, so
Yep.
the
Yeah.
decision would likely occur,
December 5th.
December 5th at the next scheduled
So
meeting.
how does that work? I mean, is it,
we just take a vote.
oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we get.
So we have
the
the
hearings.
Conservation Commission input, we have the Planning Board input,
Yep.
we have the Department Head input, and we have 2 public hearings to get public input. And there was just an article in the Conway Daily Sun today about it.
Let's see.
Damon Steele wrote it, and so the word is out, and the next hearing is advertised in that article too, so people will have more visibility than if people don't read the exchange or don't look at the town website. Yep. Yep.
Any other public input? Yes?
To lead into the education funding, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised that when the US Department of Education gets closed down and all this trillions of dollars of savings and waste that you're gonna hear about gets uncovered, and block grants are sent to the state so the state can run their own education, you're gonna find there's gonna be a lot more money left over. Right now, when you hear the waste that I'm hearing right now, up at the federal level, you will be in total favor of having that money not be taken out of our pockets, sent up to the Fed, wasted, and then sent back to us in peanuts. We just get crumbs for it. That money should stay in our state.
In the state, state should be more
That's
responsible.
what I think, so I'm hopeful that this will clear up, and I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised as people are trying something a little bit different.
Well,
The
I
other
hope
thing I
so.
needed to know is a clarification on your next meetings. Is it the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays, starting in January?
Starting in January, the first meeting is, 1st and 3rd,
Okay,
so it's the 7th and the 21st.
clarify.
So is Tuesday a special meeting?
It's the hearing.
Okay.
Yes, because of the
This Tuesday.
holiday,
All right,
we're
It
not
would have
having
been
a-
on Thursday.
It would have been on Thursday, we don't have a meeting.
okay, I get it,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
But we have other business on Tuesday too, you said?
Just a lot of
Signatures.
abatements to sign, yeah.
Okay.
And items might come up, but I don't, not yet.
I'll try to be here, I think I'll be here.
Okay,
I never know what's going on. I'm not the boss of it.
well, we appreciate you coming and having good input and
Yeah.
asking good questions.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thanks, Mark.
I appreciate what you guys do.
Hearing no more public input, I move to go into non-public under RSA 91A:32A.
Second?
A roll call vote.
Did you say yes?
There, yes.
Shaver, yes?
Goodness, yes.
We're now in non-public at 6:05.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good night.
See you later.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. So even if, so it just has to be under contract by December 31st,
Yep.
even if the job can't happen until
Yes,
the winter, right?
correct. That would be encumbering.
We good?
Oh, yeah, 6:41.
Okay.
Do we put our Zoom back on?
No.
I'm just gonna go.
I make a motion to come out of non-public at 6:41.
Second.
Roll call vote.
You say yes?
There, yes.
Shaver, yes.
I just, yes.
We are now out of non-public, and I motion to adjourn.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh!
One more item. I want to talk about schedule again.
Okay.
Looking at the calendar, we meet on December 5th, then the 19th. 2 weeks later would be January 2nd. So we could do one more Thursday
Oh, and then go to the 14th.
and then go to the
Nice job.
14th. So then we'll be meeting every 2 weeks. So we'll do
Every 2
Second
weeks.
and fourth.
Second and fourth.
Oh, perfect.
Tuesday.
Are you sure you want me to still be here?
Yeah, as
It
long
all
as you're not
depends on what the
recording us in
liometer
non-public
says.
anymore. Absolutely.
And those
So-
videos have been really great to reference back to. Your
Okay, so
reviews.
then it's second, 14th.
Correct.
Got it. Good thinking.
You got that? All
Yeah.
right,
And
nice.
then
I
we're
got
every
that.
2 weeks. So
Well, the video will save you, especially if somebody claims you said something you didn't.
Oh, yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, so
Video's
the
The
great.
transcripts, being able to search it, it's very helpful.
Wait till you see it when it gets better.
Yeah.
When it gets better, like better technology,
Oh, yeah.
better?
What time do we go into non-public?
Oh,
Anybody remember?
Yeah, so We'll have to look at the tape.
Okay.
6:05 PM.
Thank you.
I wrote it down.
Sean, you're on it tonight.
Occasionally I write.
Man,
Thank you. You saved me having to scroll through Ed's video.
okay, and we're,
Oh, and that's actually nice because, oh, well,
Just don't wanna
then we don't have 2 meetings. We have the budget hearing and then we don't have two select board meetings that week.
is there
Super.
any more comments?
Gonna be 2 minutes for
What?
that here?
He's been trying to end the meeting for
Oh,
like
sorry,
5
I'm
minutes.
just talking to myself. I'm not talking to you.
Motion
Emily,
to adjourn.
I will.
Wait, what'd you say?
You want me to do
We're
minutes
done,
for the
we're done
budget hearing?
talking.
6:43.
Thank you.
See.
You have nothing else going on there.
I've already deposited my paycheck. It's
Adjourn
already been accepted by
6:43.
my bank.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you guys on
Okay.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday at 5.
Tuesday.
5 o'clock.
Oh, creaky for some reason.
My back is, I've been working in the barn, so my back is all trash.
Yeah.
Are
I'm
you all
trying not
going
to
to-
chiropractor in a couple of weeks, because I'm retired.
I got a 15-yard dumpster
Oh,
filled it out of my barn.
yes.
Are you going to eat?
I got a new floor.
I know, I've got to go to a birthday
you
party.
A birthday party?
Yeah.
I kind of started punching through the old.
Do you
Oh,
still
yeah.
have your whole meeting?
Oh,
That's what
okay,
I'm
see you
Oh, I
tonight.
have another
Good
barn,
night.
it'll be on concrete.
saying. You really.
Oh, this is just,
This is for the lie detector application.
I have a, where we park the cars.
so this was recording
With
audio or
ice
no?
under it.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
I ended up getting a piece of EPDM
okay.
rubber.
It doesn't have any, it won't, it doesn't
No,
feed
no, it's
audio
not
to the
gonna
video.
pull out.
Okay.
Where the car's parked.
I trust you. I believe you. I
I
hope
have
that
to sweep
means
it out the
something.
door. 'cause it's-
Yes, it does.
Don't prove me wrong.
Like pitch a day in town.
EPDM,
Okay.
it's a rubber membrane for roofing. I think they use it for ponds too, but I can't.